But no, it's we're coming off the first regular season championship in 45 years. Expectations obviously continue to get higher and higher for our program, which is what we want. Probably the thing that excites me the most is Tay Blanton coming back. It says, everybody always asks me, well, tell me about the culture of this program. How are you guys doing in the new landscape of college basketball? And it speaks for itself. I mean, you got Michael Marino, who never wanted to leave, and he still doesn't want to leave. He comes to every function that we got. Isaiah Cozart could have played for any program in the country. He led the country in blocks. He's the first conference player of the year we've had since 1979. And then you got Tay Blanton coming back for his 5th season. Tay Blanton is a phenomenal player. I'll say this, if Tay just has a good year, he'll be second all-time in scoring at Eastern Kentucky. He'll be top 5 in assists, top 5 in rebounds, top 5 in wins, top 2 in games played. So our program is doing really well. We had to bring in a bunch of new guys. And I was telling Brian, my new sports admin, who I love him, all right? He's sitting right back there, so I got to say that. Hopefully I get a raise, all right? But, the thing I love about our recruiting class, I didn't show any of these guys a locker room. I didn't show them our arena. I didn't even have that to show. I brought them in that room over there, and we talked about winning, and we talked about being part of something special. And that's why they came here. And it says a lot about those kids, because in college basketball, you can go to a new school every single year. And, our arena is not going to open up until January. We're going to have one of the toughest schedules in the country. 22 out of 31 of our games are going to be outside of our arena. So it says a lot about the recruiting class that we have. I'm really excited about our class. We got great length. We got great athleticism. Everybody asked me, so I'm going to go ahead and say it before you guys ask me. We'll never be able to replace Isaiah Cozart. It's impossible. He's a once-in-a-generation player, and we were fortunate to have him. But I love the guys that we got in to replace him and fill those shoes. So, but I love this group. It's going to be a tough schedule. And let me say this before you guys ask me questions. I'm so thankful. For the first time in school history, we've led the conference in attendance. That's never been done. It's buzzing around here. I think we almost sell out the rec center when we practice every day. We're only allowed to have 250 fans in here, and we almost sell that out, don't we, Doug? And we almost have a sellout at practice. But really excited about this group. It's going to be a challenging schedule, a schedule that'll get us ready for conference play again. So we look forward to getting going. That it's one of those losses that's gonna hurt forever. KB had almost carried me to the media room after that game. But you know what? It took a couple weeks, but I had to get myself in the mindset of celebrating what those kids had accomplished. It's amazing what they accomplished, and nobody will ever be able to take that away from them. Nobody. It was the first championship in 45 years. Isaiah Cozart's the second player in program history to be named Conference Player of the Year. He's the only player in ASUN history to be Player of the Year and Defensive Player of the Year. He led the country in blocks. I don't even know how many school records he broke. Michael Marino and Isaiah Cozart were two of the best players out of Central Kentucky in the last decade. And they didn't play at Western or Murray. They played at EKU. And I'll be honest, it took me a while because, those losses, you remember the losses more than you remember the wins. But that loss will help us at the end. I know that sounds so cliche, and all the coaches probably say that, but it'll be the best thing that ever happened to us at some point. It doesn't feel like that right now. But Tay Blanton came back for a reason. He's got one more chance to go to an NCAA tournament, one more shot. And he was involved in every recruit that we brought in. He wanted to meet every single one of them. He wanted to talk to them. And Tay had never done that, you know, and Tay chose to stay here. So to answer your question, no, it will sting forever. But I'll never, ever stop celebrating that team, ever. I'll never stop celebrating that team. What they did was historic, the way this community rallied around them. They were number one in the league in defense, number one in rebounding, number one in blocks, number two in offense. They were in a special group. And the thing that's so special is because they set the standard. And now these guys that come in, they got to hold the standard now. You know, now we get to talk about a championship. You know, only 9% of the teams in the country are going to win a championship. And that team was one of the 9%. Did we go to the NCAA tournament? No. But we're going to go to the NCAA tournament at some point. I promise you that. That's why I came here. You know, that's why they hired me. And I guess if I don't, I probably won't be the coach. You know, I shouldn't say that in front of my boss.
Well, Coach, you know, when you went into the portal to bring in a lot of these guys, was there something that you looked forward or just that you wanted to bring in because you added a lot of size and length to this roster?
So there's 5 things that you got to be an EKU basketball player. You got to be talented, you got to be coachable, you got to be competitive, you got to love to play, all right, and you got to have great character. Because playing here is hard. And, you know, it's hard because we expect to win a championship, we expect to compete for a championship, but it's everything else that you're going to do to be an EKU basketball player. It's like, you know, we're going to lead the athletic department in community service. We are. You know, we're going to pour everything that we got into this community. That's it. That's what it is. And everybody asks me, why do you do so much? Why do you do so much? Why do you have the kids do so much? Because every team and every coach says, man, I want my team to be a family. Well, what's a family have? A family has love. A family celebrates each other. A family stay together. You know, families are servant leaders. So you want to teach these kids how to be a servant leader, how to put each other first, how to put others first. So being an EKU player, it's a tough job. And if you ask them too, you know, you got to get in really good shape.
With new faces, how much more teaching do you have to do maybe in the offseason early on to say, look, this is how we do it. This is the style that maybe you or the plays you haven't been used to. How's your patience level with the new guys?
You know what? Well, first, I shouldn't say this. I can't because my wife will watch this. But I was the head coach at Hargrave Military Academy for 6 years. And we had a brand new team every single year. So it kind of takes you back to, you know, kind of where it started for you as a coach. But I love coaching. I love teaching. I love watching film with the guys. I love starting from the beginning and then building an unbelievable foundation because that's what you got to have. Because, look, every team, every program, and every sport, whatever it is, you're going to be defined on how you handle adversity. That's it. Everybody's going to go through it, whether it's Kentucky or Louisville, the Bengals, the Reds, whoever it is. And you know, you got to have an unbelievable foundation if you're going to be able to weather that type of storm. So, you know, I love that part of it, Brian, and I know that probably sounds cliche, but I do love that part of it.
In the law system last year, the guys you picked up, have you tweaked your style of play in overall?
That starts. You got to talk to Doug. No, we have tweaked our style of play every single year, and I say that. And you know, I met with our president, Dr. McFadden, who I love, Dr. McFadden, and so he asked me, you know, tell me about your growth in 7 years. And you know, the biggest thing is you can't be stubborn as a coach. You got to learn every day. You know, like I'm sitting in there watching film with George Kimball yesterday, and I'm seeing some stuff. I'm like, wow, you know, we can pick up some stuff from that. You know, so is our style, is our brand, none of that's changed. Are we going to do some things a little bit different? Yeah. If you watch us every year, we always do a couple things a little bit different. You know, my first couple of years, we couldn't rebound, remember? Now look at us. I'm just joking, Doug.
Coach, obviously, the losses, Jose and Koza are hurt. What's kind of one thing you've noticed about this few guys down on the block at the 4 and the 5 this year so far?
You know, so we got to replace Isaiah Cozart, and then we got to replace Michael Marino. What an easy task, right? But again, you know, Tyler Andrews has got a chance to be really good. He's 6'7". He's a physical player. He's a great young person. He can really shoot the basketball. And then Meyer Wall was a top 100 recruit out of high school. He played for Charleston last year. They had a historic run, won their conference, got to the NCAA tournament. So I like both of those guys a lot. You know, they both got a chance to be a little bit different than Michael and John, which what we had at the 4 last year. And then at the 5, we're you know, Cozy, it's just you just can't replace that. It's impossible. But I love the pieces that we brought in. I love the growth of Mont. You know, Mont was Cozart's backup last year, and I thought Mont was phenomenal. I thought Mont, he only played 4 minutes a game. That was a joke.
Do you, with Coz gone, he got the bulk of the minutes, do you feel like at the 5 you may use your depth to rotate?
We played a close scrimmage this past weekend, and I played all 4 of them. You know, so yeah, we're going to rotate them a lot.
This is about as generic questions can be asked probably, but where are you looking forward to most? What excites you the most about this 2024 team?
You know what has got me really excited? George Kimball. You know, I see a lot. He averaged 20 points a game last year. He was the freshman of the year in the Sunshine State. He's super talented, offensively super talented. But he does some like Cooper Robb-ish stuff on defense. You know, he's competitive. He can guard the ball. He's got a great basketball IQ. He really understands our schemes. He really excites me. He really excites me. I love what he does on the defensive end. I think we can be a much better perimeter defensive team. You know, we're not going to have the shot blocking presence that we've had. It's impossible. But what we can be, you know, on the perimeter guarding, I think we can be much better. And that's what we have to be if we're going to win the league again. You know, the last 2 years, you know, we're topping our league in defense. I mean, I run around, you know, everywhere and say the most exciting 40 minutes in sports, but we're going to guard you. You know, that's our MO. And he can anchor our defense. Where Cozart did it on the back end, you know, George can really do it on the front end, and that gets me really, really excited.
Think of the conversations like with Turner, coach, as he tries to make sure that he can elevate himself from being a bench player to being a consistent starter and leader on the team this season.
You know, listen, Turner Butchery, I'm so proud of Turner Butchery. And when I meet with the guys at the end of every season, you know, I reminded Turner, you know, his freshman year, he was a rotation guy on a team that had the most postseason wins in 78 years at Eastern Kentucky. You know, and that team won a lot of games. And then last year, he's a rotation guy on the first regular season championship team in 45 years. You know, he's been a major, major piece to what we've been doing and us winning. And I challenge Turner. I want you to be a better leader, because that kid right there, he's a competitive dude now. You know, come 3:30, he's gonna be getting after somebody. And you know, I just want him to be a little bit more of a positive leader, and he's taking that on, and he's going to be a junior. It's his time to step into that role, and he's done a really, really good job.
Also, what if any conversation you have with the team about having a target on their backs, as you guys have had for the past couple of seasons, but even more so as you guys gain this notoriety and this, you know, respect in the league?
That's exciting. It really is, and that's what you want your program to be. You know, you like to play the underdog role. We got to do that a couple years ago when we got picked 10th. But, you know, I love the expectations. I want expectations. I think they picked us 4th, right, KB, and 2nd in the league. So it's exciting for our program.
Between now and the first game, what's the most important thing you're looking for from your team coach?
I think we got to continue to work on our conditioning. Like we played Bradley, who's predicted to win the Missouri Valley, who's got a great team. They're well coached. And I just thought we got a little bit gassed in that scrimmage. So we got to get our conditioning a little bit better as we get closer to the beginning of the year.
Can you talk a little bit about Jackson Colt and what he brings this year and what he had to say last year?
Probably, listen, and I say this, probably the best decision that that we made as a program last year was redshirting Jackson Holt. He hurt his knee in the preseason. He could have came back in probably late December, early January, but we redshirted him. He made a full recovery, and he's playing lights out. He started for us versus Bradley, and I'm really proud of that kid. He's playing fearless now, and he has every right in the world to play fearless. There's not many people at any level in the country that can shoot the basketball like that kid. I mean, we took him out to Dillingham Park, and you don't get a roll at Dillingham Park. No, those aren't breakaway rims. I mean, he hit like, what, 26 in 1 minute? I mean, he's an elite shooter. But I'm proud of him because now he's starting to play fearless on the offensive end, and he's gained a lot of confidence on defense. And I think just sitting out watching the game, I think that really helped him.
I guess an unfortunate reality of where you guys are is just you have to win the conference tournament, and the state tournament to make March Madness. Has there been anything you've decided or figured out about maybe unlocking that formula because you are having to play 3-4 kind of winner take all games towards the end of the year?
You know what? I haven't thought about this, but since you said that, I'm thinking about it. Like, we may have a tough enough schedule that would get us in. Like, our schedule's that tough. But you know, we're just in a league that's what it is. I mean, you look at the Missouri Valley last year; they were the 9th ranked league in the country, and Indiana State didn't get in. I think their net was what, 23. So it is what it is.
Coach, there's so many tough games on the road this year. A couple ACC opponents, one in particular, Louisville up the road. How excited you are to go up there and play in-state rival?
Yeah, we're thankful for the opportunity. It'll be great for our program, and it'll be great for us to see where we're at. So no, it's exciting.
Have some of the guys from Charleston maybe gave you a few tips or a few plays that Coach Kelsey might have for that game?
I can't tell you that. It's a secret. No. Both of those kids are doing really well. Jordan Crawford has got a chance to be special for us. You know, he gives us another perimeter defender that's got great speed and quickness to go with George too, and then Myar is just super talented. I mean, his talent's through the roof.
That kind of program, how much do you think that can elevate you guys just across the board?
When you recruit somebody, you always want to make sure they're a winner, and those two kids are winners. And so we got 2 winners that in our recruiting class, among others, that we feel really good about.
Did you try to recruit those guys as a package deal, AW, Mayar and Jordan?
We got Jordan first, and then Meyer wouldn't answer the phone. And then it took us about a week to finally get him on the phone, and then we did. And once he talked to me once, he really liked me. I'm a likable guy. I was like, Meyer, you just got to give me a shot, man. Just talk to me once. And then I begged him. I was like, look, just come on a visit. Come on a visit, see what we're doing here. And we were able to get Meyer. I had to do the same thing with my wife.
You guys work out a doubleheader with Kilo and Hawaii. You guys gonna go together and play, like the girls are going to play Hawaii?
Greg tried to take over my schedule last year, and he just couldn't get any games. And I kept telling Greg, you know, I got to get these games done. Stotts asked me for the schedule like before anybody. He asked me before my wife, you know, and no, but we couldn't get that worked out.
He's already doing the research.
Yeah.
And I'm ready.
Is there anything different that you plan to do just because of how unique some of those home games are in the fall when you have to sell to in terms of getting guys acclimated to a different gym, different shooting lines, things like that?
You know, we've been able to get over to Berea College and practice, and which we appreciate that. You know, Alston Newton's a coach over there. He's an EKU alum. He's a good friend, and he's opened the doors up for us quite a bit. And you know, I had a marketing meeting today, and Brian will tell you, you know, our team has got a great plan to make that a great fan experience over there at Berea College. So it'll be fun playing over there.
Will the best 40 minutes of basketball look a little different over there, or do you think it'll translate?
Hey, the most exciting 40 minutes, but you can call it the best. I like that too. No, it's going to be exciting. This team is going to play inspired. There's no question about it. They're going to be exciting to watch. Our fans pile into our arena because how hard these kids play. I mean, these kids play with passion. You know, it means something when they put that uniform on. So they'll be diving after every loose ball. They'll be trapping and running, and it'll be fun.
Coach, what does it take for a school like Eastern Kentucky to stay competitive in the NIL space in basketball these days?
Well, you got to win. You got to win because you need a lot of support. We did our fundraiser. We call it the most exciting night, and it's pretty good, right? I came up with that. And 2 years ago when we started this, we had about 55, 60 people. I mean, we had over 300. And, you know, I mean, again, we've been playing basketball here for a long time. We've never led the league in attendance. We've done it 2 years in a row. So that's how you stay relevant in that space.
This will be the first season with you working under Kyle. Can you just speak a little bit to y'all's working relationship and also the way that maybe you guys have an aligned vision for what the future of BK men's basketball will be?
I love him. I love his approach. I love the staff that he's put together. He's a winner. He knows how to win. The first time I met him, he said, hey, we're going to support the heck out of you. We want you to win. We want you to continue to compete for championships. So I'm super excited about him. It's an honor to work for him. You know, he's been around a long time. He's been involved in a lot of championships. He's helped a lot of student athletes. So it's been a blessing for us.